Today we wanted to talk about website and branding for real estate agents.
As you know, most buyers, 90% of all buyers start by going online to one of the big websites and they just start looking at homes. I mean, we've seen tons of comedies about this all the time. But as real estate agents, our website has to be on point to make sure that we are attracting clients. When they go to our site, they want to come and stay on our site. So your site has to be pretty awesome. It has to be branded and it has to be optimized. So we're going to really break down what your website needs to look like or feel like, so when you are going to make sure your website is there.
Exactly. Therefore, why really in the first place we need a branded website? As we know, your website is kind of digital form of your storefront, meaning that the first place that potentially all these clients that might be your client or in the future client will go there and learn about you, your services, your current listing, or what you offer, is also a chance for you to stand out in the crowd competition and build the trust for people that they wanted to be your potential client. And it's there, basically a strong website will set you apart and strengthen your brand to a higher level.
So you want to make sure you have some key features with this. Some key features will be like your logo and color are prominent, and they have to be visible and completely consistent. It also has to be professional look in time, and there has to be an about you section. Don't skip on that part. I know a lot of people are like, nobody cares about me. Yeah, they do actually care. They want to know who you are, or your mission statement. They want to see how you connect. Even if they don't see it initially, they're going to look at it. Then of course your listings have to be featured, have to be active. It has to be easy to navigate to the features and to the photos and description, because that's why they're there looking at homes. And of course, you want to have more things if possible. Client testimonials if possible. Highlight your positivity and how you help people. And your contact information needs to be everywhere. Your phone number, your email, and some links.
Exactly. Now we're gonna go to the SEO basic for
absolutely after introduction. Let's hit it. Now talk to me about SEO.
Exactly. The SEO basic for real estate agent. What is SEO? As we know, SEO is search engine optimization. If you want it to be visible online and they're gonna find your website online, you need that your website needs to show up in the search engine results, meaning that this way is gonna help you to put your brand, your name out there in front of every possible potential client. And local SEO key is a key actually to making sure your website shown with all this client and search engine for that home area or the market that you are working.
So we're going to talk about some important terms with SEO. The first one is going to be the keywords. I know this gets repetitive. People get overwhelmed with keywords, but key phrases that home buyers are going to type into their search engine, homes for sale in wherever you are. Those are going to make sure that your keyword is showing up, because that's what home buyers are looking for. So you're going to show up what they're looking for. Other things you want to do, so keywords are super important, and don't forget the branded ones like homes for sale in Greenville, that's where we live. Second one is on-page SEO. So you want to make sure that your descriptions, everything is optimized to your content and your structure of your website. And then also off-page SEO. This is going to be mentioned. All your links have SEO to it as well, and all of your mentions, and it makes sense. You want to talk to me a little bit more on-page SEO?
Exactly. The on-page SEO, which is the first one for the real estate website, basically the keyword research here is to finding out that what the keywords people, as my wife said, searching for your own market. For example, we live in a small city called Greenville, North Carolina, or Winterville, North Carolina. Therefore, here for us, the example, let's say, you can use it for your local market, Winterville homes for sale.
But it's home for sale, town home for sale.
Or Greenville, North Carolina, Greenville NC real estate. These are basically on-page SEO that helps you with your visibility where is your local market.
So how do you do that? You write blog, your description, and it's all about the local market. Key tips for sellers, neighborhood highlights. Always have these target keywords in there. Why? It's because it's your It's words that you're putting not just as keywords, you're also putting it into the description as well.
Exactly.
And then you want to make sure you have meta tags. You want to explain that?
Exactly. Meta tag actually is use clear descriptive meta tag for each page. For example, as we said, homes for sale in Greenville, North Carolina. This is a meta tags for you. What is the next one?
Next one is you want to make sure your website is mobile friendly, of course. You want to make sure it's easy to navigate on our phones because so many people are searching on our phones. We want to make sure our phones are there. Next thing we want to talk about is off-page SEO strategy. Now this is where it's not going directly to something, you mentioned something and now it's going to go somewhere else. So this is backlinks. Make sure that other sites link to your content. For instance, collaborate with local business or have them write guest blogs on community websites to where you're linking back to your website. So the more you can have other people pointing to your website, the more it actually grows. Exactly. What else?
Also using social media, meaning that share your website content on your social media profile to drive the traffic and improve your SEO.
Another thing is client reviews. Encourage clients to leave Google reviews as well as the other areas. Why? Because it's going to build trust and SEO. So we're going to talk now about improving your website and making sure it's working super fast and everything is going. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, what is it?
The first thing, the fast user-friendly website basically keeps the visitor or the potential client engaged and helps them with the SEO ranking. This is super important. For example, if you're Greenville like us, living in Greenville, North Carolina, or living in Greenville, NC, that is gonna help you.
And not just that, it's also when you go to, it's about speed for this one. So when we're including performance, it's about speed, it's about image optimization, it's about clear navigation. Why? Because you want to make sure everything's working. Because if it's not working fast, people aren't going to stay. Because if I go click on something and it doesn't pop up right away, I'm not going to stay on the website. So that you have to make sure do speed checks. Make sure that your images are optimized for speed. Make sure they're going to be quick loaded. You want to make sure that you have clear navigation so people know exactly where to find all the information about the listing and of course you. Now how do you track it? Which I think
therefore the tracking the SEO result, that measuring your SEO success is super critical, and keep eyes on these items that we gonna tell you. The first thing is Google Analytics. Track basically how much traffic your website is getting, where visitors are coming from, and also what they do on your website.
The second thing is, of course, your Google Search Console. Check your rankings there. Ensure your site is indexed correctly, because if you're not indexed, you cannot be found. So there is a Google Search Console with that too. And last thing is, of course, your conversion rate. Tell me.
Monitoring how many visitors contact you through your website. This is super important. And what is the final word?
So you want to make sure that your website is going to continue with the onboarding process and the ongoing process to convert clients or customers into clients. So we want to get not just the lead, we want to convert the lead into a customer who wants to buy only with you or I. So that is why a website is an essential tool that we need to make sure your real estate business is growing. So I can't wait to talk about all of this and more in our masterclass.